Good evening, everybody. This is not Born Political tonight. I'm here hosting the SEC TV Open House. We did this last year. And basically, if you're listening, this is live right now. It's Thursday night. There's actually an open house. We have artists displaying their work on the walls. We have a lot of local folks. We have some folks that have other shows that are going to stop in. Last year, what we did was if folks walked in and they wanted to be interviewed and walked on up, I would do the interviewing. I'm sure we're going to have both Franks on here, maybe just one of the two Franks. I'm not sure. Last year, I think we're certainly getting one of the Franks. But this is about SEC TV and what they do. It's a community. It's kind of a spotlight on one of the last services that people don't understand that they can have access to. If you get to watch Born Political, for example, we have almost, I think, 50 episodes now. And it's a lot of local folks that we meet and talk to, and we're able to get a pulse of the community. And there's not many venues that are set up like that. And if you ever get a chance to be on either my show or one of the other great hosts that we have here, you'll see the studio. Right now, you're only seeing me. And to sit down and see what's gone into this place and the technology that they have, people have asked on my show, God, you do a great job. Is that in your basement? I can tell you, if you see this studio, you understand why the show comes out so good. And then we have the technicians that do all this great work. It's because of what they do. We have some food here. So, like I said, if you guys are close, we're located next to the former Benny's and near the post office right in Groton. I'm going from 5:30 to 6:30. I think they're going to be here till 7. But you'll also get to see a lot of the local artists and artwork. We have a band here tonight. I don't know if one of those guys want to come up. I'm interviewing anybody and anybody. If you guys want to come by, so the band, Small Wonder. You want to come over? Sure. Come on over. We have. Now this is a 2-piece band. We have Small Wonder and. Yeah. How you doing? What's the name of the band and who are you guys?
Name of the group is Small Wonder. Myself, Bernie Santor, and Tom Senna. We've been doing this event for several years now. They keep asking us back. I'm not sure why, but thanks again for having us. And we enjoy doing it. It's a nice little event, and it's nice to see people come out and enjoy the artwork and have a good time.
Well, I can tell you personally why they invite you back. I was here last year. Oh, really? Yeah, and the music's great. And it's actually perfect for this event. But my wife knows Dr. Senna too, and she wants to come down and see you and say hi. But yeah, and hopefully if you want to hear some good music, I left that out. There is great food and there's a lot of great artwork that I think most people don't understand that's part of tonight. But the music, how long you been doing this?
Well, myself, we've been together probably 10 years now, 10, 12 years doing this off and on.
10, 12 years.
But I've been playing music my whole life, so.
And what instrument you playing over there?
Guitar and sing, and Tom plays guitar and piano and sings as well. So.
Well, I'm a karaoke singer. Yeah, I can be drowned out by a good DJ.
Get you up there, do something.
Oh no, you don't probably want me. If you want to be invited back again, if that's your intention, not to be invited back, get me up there singing for you.
All right, great. Well,
all right, thanks for having. Yeah, thanks for coming up. All right, like I said, there's folks now. They're off camera, so you can't see them. I don't see the red carpet's not out this year. I don't think we had one last year either. But you're not going to see a red carpet here. You see, this is public television at its best. Although studio is in beautiful shape, and if you haven't seen it, I really encourage you to come down here. This past year, in a half now that I started my show, Born Political, if you've gotten a chance to watch any of the shows, there's some great community members and a lot of great things that happen. And we're able to produce and put out a good program because of what SEC TV does here. They're funded through the cable program. And as more people cut their cable, obviously we're trying to find new revenue streams and work through legislation to make sure that this service remains intact. And if you got to see my program, there's a lot of shows. I think of some of the amazing things. Just last week, we had Mike Morton on. He's riding for cancer. It's a I forget the name of what it is, but it's a charity and it's raising money for cancer. And he shows just how he got involved just by Googling something that he saw on a wall somewhere. And I think I had other people reach out to me asking me how they could get involved with that just in the last week. So we're kind of like a little ripple effect. Something happens here, good, and people will ask me, and I was noticed. That's what I wanted to tell Jeremy. I don't think Jeremy's on the other side of the camera right now. I'll bring him up too. He was on last year. He's Tammy's the pseudo producer of the show because her name's up there every week, but my wife doesn't seem to make it a lot. But Jeremy, I don't know. You want to step up here for a second, Jeremy? This is my guy right here. Now, I don't know if you probably don't remember last year's show, but Jeremy, local guy that I kind of roped in as a volunteer, and now he's a board member of Community Speaks Out. He's here. What do you think of the studio, Jeremy? I know you're a big tech guy, so you get to see the behind the scenes, and you actually know what you're looking at. I just kind of walk by it and think, well, that's cool, but what's it do?
No, I think the studio is set up really well. It gives you every opportunity to make any kind of TV show that you want to be able to do here. Great audio, great video quality. Initially, when we first started your show, Frank brought us in and had a small training so that way we could learn how to basically get the show up and running without them having to help us out. So there's a lot of training that they do. But yeah, there's lighting. You can see they've got the nice patterns on the back, and great audio video quality. It's just great. It's a great service.
And just being part of the show and see you got to be. I think you were even a guest on the show. Sometimes that happens on our local shows and it's good to have that. I mean, most people didn't know that you were a Navy veteran. We found out all those things about you that people around that know you, from maybe a local restaurant or whatever. Now they see you and like, oh, I know that guy. What do you think? I see the importance of it. What do you think is important to see local community people having access to a show and basically being able to get whatever they're doing, whether it's a community event or whatever they're doing, they get to put it out there in a way that's actually in a quality way and not me doing my Facebook Lives. But what do you think that this opportunity is for people?
I think having this kind of opportunity, allows a lot of people to be able to take something that they have a passion for or they really want to share and make a good quality produced show locally and share it with anybody else who might have that interest or have just an interest to see what's going on in their community. You joked about your Facebook Live, but we met basically through your Smile Live Facebook show that you were doing, and the quality wasn't there, but you were putting out quality information. So being able to have this kind of access to a studio that has great cameras, great audio, has great production ability, you're able to put out quality information at a quality production. Yep. It's not just, a quick Facebook stream where it's cutting out. You may have poor audio or you may not have any audio. Your video might go down. Like your Facebook Live, that was the big problem is your audio would get cut out or your video would start chopping out, and you don't have that. You don't have that issue here. You have great solid.
Nobody listens to a message that's that jumbled up. Right. They when you're doing videos, say, "Oh, I really wanted to watch it and I was interested, but it was chopped up." And because of the studio, because of what you guys do here behind it, you as a volunteer behind the scenes, especially for our show, we're able to put out things that at the end, if you planned on doing a show here or you wanted to get a message across, there's a link that you get at the end, and I take a link and I email the link. Jeremy's on the email chain, but I email it to other people so they can share it. But Jeremy, you take that link. So it's not just the fact that you're producing a show here and people get to see it live and then be repeated during the course of the year and on every Thursday night. It's what you can do with the link afterwards. So, if you're looking to build that studio or if you're looking to get a show started or you want to become part of this, I suggest that, don't just rely on just getting the show here and getting that tape, because now you get the link, and what do you do with it from there?
Yeah, so with the Born Political show, we get the link to the show. I'll upload it to YouTube for you. I also put it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Google Podcasts. So you're able to take that quality show and not only have it on your local cable show, but then you're able to spread that message worldwide if you wanted to in a good production method. It's not just like a little home studio with a webcam or something. You know, you're getting production level, you know, TV channel production quality, audio, video, and everything. So when you do put that onto podcasts or upload it to YouTube, you're getting a good quality video, audio, and you're putting out a good product, something that you'd be proud of.
And I am very proud, and that's why I think it's really important for people to understand that it doesn't just stop here. You know, that you can push it out. Now, I have relatives in the Philippines, so these shows are watched on the exact opposite side of the world, and I think they've been very impressed with the quality because they, you know, I get a little bit of feedback from my cousins over there, but it's good that they get to. It's almost, you want to say, like a Channel 8 type of thing, where the quality and the sound is that good. That's where I get most of my compliments. I walked into, you're gonna laugh. I say, nobody ever noticed me from the show, and I was at Pfizer the other day, and walked up, and the guy introduced me, and the guy says, "I know you," and I coach baseball, and I was your state rep, and you know, I've been here and there and local, and I'm expecting to be seen and known from that. And he says, "You have a show called Born Political." And I watch it, and he says, "I don't watch much TV anymore." And I'm talking to you. I forgot what your name was, but we were in the hallway, and you said that's how you watch the show. And he was really happy to get some good content, local content. He's kind of ixnayed the whole cable thing, but he does enjoy it. And I think most of it is because you learn about local community people and what's happening right under our noses that most of us don't ever see. So. I love having you on the show, man. I appreciate it. And there's going to be other people. We'll tap people on the shoulder. They want to come over. I'm going to explain the jacket here. I think last year I came and I realized I was a little bit underdressed. And I didn't want to be overdressed, but I think this is perfect. This is actually from the gala. We have Community Speaks Out. We did a gala a year and a half ago. It was a year ago, right? In July, maybe a year. I forget how long. I'll get yelled at because I have all my dates wrong, but it was in the summer. And I bought this because purple's our color. And I've worn it a few other times. You may have seen me out. You may have seen me at the casino 2 weeks ago with it. That's possible, too. But when you have a jacket that feels right, you just put it on, you wear it. So there's not much of a story about that jacket. But I think it looks good. What do you think, Jeremy? Think we're looking pretty good? Yeah, so if anybody's out there that wants to come on up, we'll tap people on the shoulder. I'm going to keep talking because I'm very excited about this studio. And I hope you guys are too. I hope you understand everything that goes into it, and you couldn't find out what goes into it unless you come on down here. And you have the opportunity right now to come on down. Like my friend Liz just walked in. There's a lot of people. Come here, Liz. We're gonna call people up as I point them out. But is that Paul? Come on, Paul. We're doing on live. The show. Come on up, Liz. I'm going to put her on the spot. I got a lot of people I put on the spot. Liz is one of them. This is my really dear friend and political.
Wonderful. You just, now you want to tape me.
Now I'm taping.
Now you want to tape me when I say you look wonderful.
Oh, yeah. If you didn't say I look wonderful, the interview was over before you got here. You know that, right?
That's great.
I just interviewed Jeremy, and there's a lot of people here again. And again, every year we want to get the same message out, but SEC TV is really important, and right?
Absolutely. No, it is. Once again, and I'm going to say I said this at Christmas time too, the important part is it's not just on TV, because TV nowadays isn't the same as it used to be, and it used to be you'd just go to the channel and you'd see whatever, but now we're streaming everything almost. And almost everything, and this means you can see all the great local information, the local people on YouTube. Because you can see SECT TV is on YouTube. So your show's on it. Your show's great. We learn so much more about who's in our neighborhood, who's in our town and our city, and what's here, what people are doing. It's really important. You do a good job.
Well, thank you. And I told Jeremy right before you got in that I was noticed as a Born Political host the other day at Pfizer by someone that said, "I know who you are. You do that show, Born Political." And I think it was.
He's going to be your next.
He's going to be my next guest. He has to be. I mean, Yeah, that guy. I'm waiting for someone to ask me for my autograph. But that happens every day when I eat lunch. I sign my Visa bill. Well, thanks for stopping by.
right.
Tap anyone on the shoulder if they want to come up.
Where's Tammy?
Tammy is not here. We have our grandson. So you guys know I'm a Lolo.
Yes, you are.
And
License plate.
and he sleep. It is my. So yeah, I don't tell. Yeah, I'm. Everyone says don't get a personalized license plate, but I did. I couldn't help it. It's my favorite word in the world is Lolo right now. I am a granddad. So you guys know that because I talk about that on the show. But yeah, if we want to tap anybody on the show, if Paul wants to come up, we'll talk about Groton a little. Yeah, send him on up. Thank you, Liz.
Love you. Love you too.
Bye.
All right, guys. Like I said, I'm going to be on from 5:30 to 6:30. If you're watching and you're in earshot and you hear this live, come on down. We have music over here. You want to get the band? Check out this band. Listen. Oh yeah, look at that. This is part of the studio. I think the band's called Small Wonder. I think that's what they said. Small Wonder. They've been doing this for 10 years. Great, relaxing music. Good band. Tom Senna. I know him. My wife knows him. We'll get it back on me. The band sounds great. We're starting to fill up here too. So, and we have a little bit of wine, a little bit of libations. There's food, so come on down. We got Bev Washington. Come on up here, Bev. Oh, I'm gonna put her on the spot. Come on. Oh, people are afraid of the jacket. Is it the jacket? Come on up. I'll unbutton it if you want me to. No, come on up. Yeah. People see this jacket and they think that I'm a game show host. Now, the next contestant, no, you're not going to win any money.
Oh, too bad.
You could lose some money. No, I'm just kidding. You're not going to lose any money either.
Win some money.
You want to win some money?
Yeah.
All right. This is a trivia game.
Okay.
I'm kidding. No trivia, no pressure. I'm trying to get the word out about SEC TV. You're obviously a supporter.
Yes, I am.
You've seen a lot of information. What do you think of? I mean, the studio's beautiful, and we know that. But do you watch it at home? Do you ever get to see this unbelievable show, Born Political? I heard.
Is that your show, Joe?
Isn't it? How do you not know that? That's the question. The trivia question was, what's your favorite show on SEC TV?
Born Political, that's it.
You win.
Thank you. And you know, we have another studio on Waterfit.
I've been on that. I've been in that studio a bunch of times. So I've been on Murray Renshaw's show over there.
right.
Carl Lee. I've been on a few shows over there.
So if anybody out there wants to do a show, come on down to SEC TV and do your show. Do your thing like Joe.
What about you? Have you had a show?
No, I don't want
Hold on. How have you not had a show?
I don't want one.
You got so much. You always got so much to say, though. I can't imagine that you didn't want to do a show. They tease me. I wanted to do a show because I talk so much, and you usually can't stop me from talking. That's why I think Liz suggested that I should have a show, because I do so much talking. Oh, how are you? Come on up. You all set? I know. I think it's my jacket is intimidating people. It's just too shiny that they're afraid that it's gonna drown them out. Again, guys, we're gonna be here at about 7:00. It's really, really close. I want to talk about some of the guests that we've had in this past year, some of the highlights of what we did. My first interview ever on Born Political was my mom, and it had a lot to do with the basis of the show. How are you? Want to come on over? How are you?
I'm a citizen of Ukraine.
Oh, you are.
Can come here to Ukraine, to America, by program You for You. And I want to tell a great merci to all the Americans. We feel ourselves, me and my daughter, so nice, so safeful. And I want to tell all Americans very, very grand merci for your hope, for me also, and for my country at all.
What a beautiful message. Thank you for coming up here, and thank you for introducing. And what's your name?
Natasha.
Natasha.
Natalia.
And do you have art here tonight?
Yes, I have my books, or three my books are here in the exhibition.
Excellent. And those are going to be up for how long? Will they?
I will be there maybe 2 years. I don't know how it will be longer.
Wow.
But I'm very, very grateful. Come here, my darling. It's my daughter.
This is your daughter. Come on the camera. Don't be afraid of the jacket.
We are not afraid.
No, I'm kidding.
We are not afraid.
How are you? And your name?
My name is Tatiana.
Tatiana.
I'm so with my mama from Ukraine.
And when did you guys arrive?
For 1st of September,
1st of September.
I was in Chicago. Chicago, and now I live here in Stonington.
And how hard? I mean, obviously it's difficult. We know where both of your hearts are probably and your minds are back with your home country. Do you guys have any heavy communications back home? Are you still able to talk?
We don't understand everything because our language is not very good, but we are trying to learn and to speak more. That's why I think in future we will speak better.
We'll live here in my country war, and we have no work, we have no life, we have no everything. And thank you for American people and for American government. They
Well, as far as your English goes, it's impeccable, very beautiful, and well,
As for me, as also, I am a babushka, grandmom.
I learn it only at school, and in academia it's very, very, very.
well that's wonderful. And I got to tell you, you're thanking Americans. We thank you. We thank you and.
You from all the Ukrainian, we say grand merci for us. For you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Well, that was unexpected. Like I said, there's many people that walk through these halls that come to this studio. That was a mom and daughter that actually are from Ukraine. And here they were worried about their English, that it wasn't proper or that I couldn't understand them. And I actually realized the English was very good for being here for just a year, it sounds like, from September. But that's the kind of folks that you get to meet. I would love to interview them one day and find out about their journey and how they've gotten here and how they ended up in Connecticut. She just mentioned Chicago, but you could feel the sense of pride and the sense of gratitude to the American people. And God, I'm just glad that we're able to do what we do. Hopefully, more people get to have that feeling. When you see the face of the people that are being affected, for them to just come up and know how heavy their heart and their mind is right now, because of the folks back home are still suffering. There's a war going on over there, and although I think many of us have forgotten a little bit about it, because it's not in the news every single day, people are suffering. And we're lucky to share our community with folks like that. So that was great, and I'm glad that they came up and said something. She saw me with a microphone and wanted to make sure that she was able to thank the American people, which I think is awesome, and I thanked her. Again, this is SEC TV. This is our annual show. I say annual show, but it's actually an open house. A lot of it was geared because it's a public entity, and they wanted to make sure that local artists and people that come on during the year had a place to display their art. It is for sale, actually. I think there's prices that are up on the wall. You can purchase it. I don't know all the logistics of that, but if you wanted to come, if you're looking for a painting for your home, I think even during the week, if you knocked on the door, they'd probably let you come in and look at it because it does hang all throughout the year. That's something that you may want to do, may not want to do, but I encourage you to make sure that you come on down and at least see the place. I'm still blown away to have somebody come up from Ukraine. I have spoken to some other folks that have made that journey, but I think it's really important to know that there's still suffering going on. They still have actually. I know there's I think there's another Ukraine support rally set up. So you guys look at those too. Those are all online on Facebook. We do have all these opportunities where you can reach out into the community and help, and that's just one of the ways. So we have a gentleman coming this way. How are you, sir? You mind if you want to come on up and how you doing? All right. It's good to see you.
My pleasure.
Good to see you.
All right. Dr. Michael Sulo.
Oh yeah.
I have films, videos on the channel.
Oh, you did, yo.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. You look very.
I feel very.
You look
I feel very, very like the story behind this was a gala that I hosted, and I've worn a jacket. I'm not the kind of guy that hangs it up. You know, I wear it a few times. I'm not going to wear it once and never again. But over the last couple of years, I got to use it, and tonight seemed like a perfect night. And you look very. I was going to tell you, you look. You really do. So the videos that you have and we're talking about are they short videos, or what do you produce?
An hour, usually an hour long. I did a whole series on the Connecticut museums, and we did kind of tours through the museums. And I have several that are instructional for different types of paintings and so on, different techniques of paintings, and they play them over and over again. I'm on about 4 or 5 times a week.
That's why you look familiar to everybody coming up on the TV.
On Sunday at 3 o'clock is my original spot. I picked that because of football games, football widows.
Oh.
You know, so football games come on, and the wives are sitting there. A lot of them are my students, and they said, "Oh, can't you do something?" My husband plops his can in front of the TV and watches.
Well, I'm a Dallas fan, a long suffering Dallas fan. Now, it's been a long time since we can claim any victory, so maybe I'll start watching that show on Sunday at 3 o'clock. Yeah, because Dallas they're not fitting the bill for me anymore. So now you teach how to paint. Do you have any of the art? Is any of the art on the walls yours tonight?
Right in the conference room, there's a large still life. It's
Okay.
long, it's 4 foot long, and so on. You'll see it.
How long have you been painting for?
Oh God, I started painting when I was 5 years old.
I did too, but there's nothing that you'd want to look at, or I don't think my mother even hung it on a refrigerator. That's how bad my painting was, and that's my mom.
I grew up in Venezia. I grew up in Venice, and over there was socialism.
Oh, okay.
So when the little boys were young, went to school,
Yeah.
you had to be apprenticed. And so I was apprenticed to my grandfather, who was a portrait artist. And you learn. You learn right away. We came here when I was in my teens, and then I went to college here, and then I worked for Walt Disney and this and that and all kinds of nonsense. So here I am, an old man now.
You don't look very old. I think you're looking good.
Well, thank you. Not as good as you. You look.
Well,
good.
it's
You
the
know, those
jacket.
Jackets. I know.
Listen, the good thing about this world, I know the internet has taken a bad rap, and it has. There's a lot of bad stuff, but look at the good stuff. You can buy something like this online from your home and get it tomorrow in your mailbox. So that,
Yeah. I had a jacket like that.
Did you?
I threw it away.
And guess where I found it? What street do you live on? That was me. No, don't tell my secrets. We've been inviting people. I've been inviting people on Facebook during the week. And I'm certainly inviting people to step up here and talk to me. I'm very, very happy that you did. And I'd love to have you on the Born Political show if you ever have a free Thursday.
Oh, is that yours?
That's me.
Oh, I'd love to. On a Thursday?
On a Thursday, yep. You didn't notice because I don't wear this jacket on the Born Political show.
Ah, that's why. But I'm not a very political person.
We are all political. That's the name of the show. I'm just not a vicious, mean political guy. I really do believe that we're all political because we all have our wants and needs in life. It's all a matter about how we get there. And the show's more about learning about the person to really understand why people think the way they think and why they think society should do one thing or the other. But being cordial about it and not being fighting and feisty, and yeah, it's not that kind of show.
And they're crazy right now. They're absolutely nuts. I did the election, actually. My boss is running to bring around here. He gave it up, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years ago. Just a year later, I gave it up. And, boy, it was nuts. It was absolute. Just an election with Donald Trump, the first Donald Trump election. That was crazy. People were vicious.
Well, I think the more people I interview, and it doesn't matter which side of the aisle you're from, the more I realize that we all have the same goals, dreams, wants. you want your kid to have a safe house and school and education. All those things are the same, and I think we need to talk about what we all feel that the same is, and then jump off that point. Right now, every single conversation starts with the most divisive topic that you could possibly think of. It's like two people that have children together that are divorced, and every single time they talk about the day someone cheated at them, instead of moving forward and saying, okay, the kids are in college now, and we got divorced 10 years ago. Let's talk about them being in college now and moving forward. And some people can do that, and some people can't. And I think we all realize the value of getting past rough and hard times or tough subjects, and that's really what my show's about.
Connecticut, for the most part, I don't know, maybe you tell me if I'm wrong, but for the most part, very conservative. I believe so. No, huh?
Well, listen, I would say people, because that we have a all blue delegation, that people think that we're super liberal, and we're not that. I do believe that we're somewhere in the middle. That's where I was born and raised, and I think living in the middle. I think the truth's always in the middle too.
Oh yeah,
my grandmother told me that.
That's right. That's right. Hey, look.
Thanks for coming up. It was great talking to you. Yeah, tap someone on the shoulder out there in the audience if they want to come up. We'll talk to everybody and anybody, because I'm feeling good because I got this jacket out of this man's dumpster. No, I did not do that. Like I told you, the internet is not all bad. I know all the bullying and all the horrible stuff that happens on it is bad, but I did get this shiny jacket on the internet. Well, my wife did. So I shouldn't even take credit for it because she bought it and found it. But it is nice. So, there's a bunch of people in here right now. If you want to tap anyone on the shoulder, see if they want to get interviewed, I don't know. I would whistle, but it would probably mess up the band. There are a lot of folks out here. I'll wave people up. I'm trying to get people to come on up. I'm telling you, the jacket, I think, is maybe a little bit over the top. But I'm gonna work it out. We're gonna get some folks that want to come on up. Getting some food right now, but we'll get them. Again, the gala. I'll talk to you about that because the gala was for Community Speaks Out. We're actually turned into a recovery community. We're reaching out. We're helping people pay for sober living. Like all those good things are happening tomorrow, and the reason I'm saying it, not tomorrow, but Saturday. We're having a big picnic at Washington Park. It's rain or shine. We are hoping that it doesn't rain. We got our hands, fingers crossed, legs crossed. We're hoping for a good day. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. We're still going to be cooking out there in the rain. If you go by Washington Park, it was by invitation, but I'm thinking there might be a few less people. I am told that Frank, who is the director here down at SEC TV, he's going to be coming up here shortly. We're going to talk about SEC TV, where he sees it going, where it came from, and that's going to help you find out what these guys are about. Again, you can't get a feel for this place until you've been in it. To be in a studio like this, believe me, I have almost 50 guests in this last year, and not it's every single time the guests that come in say, "I can't believe how professional your studio is, Joe. It's amazing. Like, what did it take you to put it together?" When the reality is, I just walked in here and it was here already. When I was in politics, I talked about people building institutions and having everything set up so the next generation can use something and have access. Well, that's been done already. The work been done here. This studio is amazing, and there's people that came way before us that had this idea, hatched it, and now give us access to a great venue like we have here right now. There's a lot of people that are not coming up because I think they're a little nervous. But make sure that you guys come by here. It's right between, and I think they'd give you a tour even if it wasn't an open house. You can step in. If you thought about ever doing a show, now's the time probably. They may have some time slots open where you can just come in and start doing your show. Mine is 5 o'clock every Thursday. Oh, no, 5:30. I'm already telling you the wrong time. I'm the host of the show, and I forget what time it starts. So from 5:30 to 6 every Thursday, except the first Thursday now, because I'm landed on the Economic Development Committee, and I will be spreading that word too. So when you see me at your restaurant, we're really trying to reach out to all the local businesses to find out what you need. This is my plug for the EDC because I have time. So if you see, there's a few members. We have Robert Boris, myself. There's a few of us that will be coming out restaurant by restaurant, and not just restaurants, small manufacturing. That's where I'm in, and asking you what you need, what we're looking for the town, how we can help out. And it was talked about that we had done this survey amongst all Groton businesses in 2017, and we were going to kind of go back and lean on those. But we all know that if you're in business, what you wanted and needed in 2017 doesn't look anything like 2022 and 2023, mostly because of COVID. But the way the world has changed, every single business that I've talked to is screaming for help and saying that they need people that can come in and do the time, and they've done that. And we got my friend Peter Roper here. Here's a man that's not afraid of the camera or shiny jackets. See,
That is a beautiful piece of art, buddy.
well, I wore this specifically because it's like, I feel like a fishing lure, and if I'm gonna, if I'm gonna attract people to come up here and talk to me, because
The screen first, I said, whoa, yo, looking good, looking good.
so we've had a few people come on and talk about what SEC TV means to them. I know as well as most people that are watching this channel. If you watch this channel, we know who Peter is, and to have access to a studio like this, I mean, what's it mean to you to be able to get your message across?
Real news you can use. We try to do things that we're interested in, but it's always from a local angle, and it's people or issues that you don't always see in the paper or on television. So we feel like we've provided a little bit of extra stuff for people, and hopefully they enjoy it. I hear from some people they enjoy it.
Well, I got one of the biggest compliments that I've ever gotten, and it was walking through the Pfizer hallway, and I got introduced from somebody I was looking at a job for to this gentleman working on a car, and he looked at me and said, "Oh, I already know you." And I thought maybe I coached him a kid in baseball, or maybe he knew me from being a state representative. But he said, "Born political." And then he said, it's pretty much the only TV I watch now, and it's not specifically Born Political, but this channel, because he's so fed up with the rest of the channels that he really feels like he gets a lot out of it. And there's some interviews I did that he specifically said he may not have agreed with some of the stuff that was said, but he liked the way it was presented, and it was.
It's part of the deal, the way you discuss it, and bringing out stuff that people don't otherwise hear. So it's great.
That was the point of my show, but I think when I look at your show, and we kind of modeled it all after that, we're just giving information. Whether you like it or not.
You start. You were on our show more than once, and then you started your own, which is ideal. We've told a lot of people, we can interview you, but you can do your own show, do your own thing. And it's a great party down here. If anybody's tuned in, there's some really nice artwork. I just looked quickly through the art, and there's some really nice artwork you can buy and help SEC TV there. You could just come make a donation, which would be great. We do get money from the rate base, but that's not a guarantee because people are dropping their cable or they're changing the way it's done. So we're trying to have another source of revenue to keep it going. But it's your station, so come on down. There's food, there's music, there's a guy with a flashy jacket.
A guy with a flashy jacket. I'm begging. Just come on in. I'll talk to anybody. I will. But it's the great point you brought up, though, is the fundraising part, and beyond the fundraising, I think legislatively we need to make sure that it's protected in a way that only legislation can, because I think it was set up great through the cable company, but as you mentioned, all the people that are cutting the cable are going to have to find a way. The legislation is going to have to find a way to make sure this is funded, because it is that important.
And it's really another thing for people to get news that they can trust, because as you know, a lot of news you can't trust anymore.
True.
If you're listening to some on the other side of the aisle, you might as well close your ears.
It's amazing to me that the amount of information that people have access to, and I think it's that overload that sometimes drives people to. Because again, I think the news that draws you in is the news that either makes you happy or sad immediately, and that's no way to tell news. It should be just telling us what happened.
Yeah, information should be gathered, like you gather your natural foods.
Yeah.
A little bit here, a little bit there.
Yeah.
Compare, contrast. Get some from the internet, get some from the newspaper. I mean, I'm a big advocate of a local newspaper. We have the London Day here, which is a nonprofit. They actually donate any profits to local community groups. So, don't complain about the day if you're not getting it. Get it and find out what's going on locally and support your local news. I'm a big fan of the New London Day, even though I don't agree with them. Like you say, I don't always agree with them, and politically they can be screwed up. But, if you want to find out what's going on in Groton, usually you can find out in the day. Where you can't anywhere else.
And I was sad to see that Erica Moser, she's moving on. I think she moved to Pennsylvania, and her and Karen Florin, and when I think of the names of people that when I read an article and I know someone went out and asked the question to the person that was involved, it means a lot more to me, and that's what I think news used to mean a long time ago. If David Cronkite said something on news at 5:30, we all kind of took it for what David Cronkite. David Cronkite.
Right.
I'm a little off.
Check you live on air.
It's the jacket. It's not me. It's the purple jacket. It was shining in my eyes, and I was thinking, I was singing Kryptonite, Walter Kryptonite.
Hey, thanks for doing this.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks everybody that came. And like I say, there's still time. We're here till I think 8 o'clock. So if you're in the neighborhood, come on over.
Yeah, and I'm up.
The post office and the old Benny's.
That's us, and I'm 19 minutes more on air. I'm going to go till 6:30. So if anybody out there wants to come on up. Tap someone on the shoulder out there. Good seeing you. Thank you. All right, guys. That is the great Peter Roper. He has a show that's been going for a very long time on this very channel. I'm not going to tell you what times, because I couldn't even tell you what time my show was on. I'm not going to know what time anybody else's show was on. I forgot. But every 5:30 every Thursday, I try to be live. But sometimes you get the repeat shows. All the shows are good. Haven't had a bad guest yet. The host, that's debatable. I can't always be perfect. But the guests have always been phenomenal. Nothing short next week. I'm back. I have the Center for the Blind. They're going to come up. And what I did notice is this. All the groups that I've ever interviewed, they're doing incredible work. And there's people that could use their services, but it's lack of either advocacy for themselves or somebody that can advocate for them. If you're being impacted in any negative way for anything, there's a group. There's someone out there that can either help you navigate through it, get services, or just someone to talk to. And whether it's Community Speaks Out or the Center for the Blind, or we've had Thames River Heritage Group, we've had all these folks come to the show and speak about the work they do. And there's many, many more. And we're going to interview those all this year. So if you're watching and you want to be part of the Born Political show, you want to be interviewed, or you know somebody that's doing something great in the community and you think they should be interviewed, call me. My number, you can get my number. Just Google the guy with the purple jacket. I'm kidding. It'll probably be Grimace. I'm not sure. Actually, Google that, the guy with the purple jacket, because I'm not sure what's going to come up. It's not going to be me, but I'm the guy with the purple jacket here tonight, so I just use that. Again, there's a bunch of people flowing in and out of here. I do think, like I said, I wore the shiny jacket because I thought people were going to come up because they'd be attracted to it. It's not working. I think I have to wear yellow next year or something. I got a gold suit. Maybe that'll be. What do you think, Jeremy? A gold suit next year? I'll wear a gold suit next year. A gold scoop. Gold. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of folks walking in here. Again, the groups. We'll talk about. Who else did we have on? We've had on so many people. I had Bruce Flax on. You guys know about Bruce? He could be here today. He's a member of the Chamber of Commerce. Those are the types of folks that are making things happen in our community. And they kind of have their finger on the pulse of the community. I got to bring him back now that we talk about it. I had Tom Cantone on his show. We had one of the highest viewed shows. I'm going to tell you, Tom, it was great to have you on, but one of the highest viewed shows I've had just by video count. So a lot of people are interested in what he did. He's the guy. He's the guy up at the casino that makes, when you see all the stars and the names and lights that are coming into town, a lot of times that's because of Tom. And that's the guy that we were able to have on the show. Who else did we have? We had Joe Courtney on the show. We have the Sale Monument that we talked about. That's one thing that's been near and dear to my heart, because the sale, if you guys haven't heard about it, you haven't seen my show, because I talk about it every show for a little bit. And Jeremy reminded me tonight that why haven't I mentioned the monument? Because I always talk about it. That monument is going to be located parallel on 117, the Joseph Gingerella Memorial Highway, actually. But right there along that road, there's going to be the Groton sail, which is the USS Groton, a decommissioned nuclear submarine. The sail's been chopped off, and so has the rudder. And the actual monument is going to be life-size of the boat with a hump in it. You can go online and see it. There's a Facebook page for it. If you want to buy bricks with pavers, and it's a monument to our whole community. We have a lot of military monuments to sailors and corps men, but really this monument is for all of Groton, all this region, New London County, because of the work that we've done. We support the communities. We support the families of the sailors that protect our country. So this is a monument you're going to want to be part of. It's something that I'm passionate about now. It's one of the fun things that I get to do. And you don't miss out, because you're not going to want to go to this monument and look down and think, oh, for $250, I could have had my name on that, or my loved one who served, or my loved one who worked at Electric Boat. I should have did that. Don't say I should have. Just do it. You just got to get there. Just go online. And I talked about the internet, how easy it is. You don't have to go to right in front of, there's a board in front of the library. You don't have to go to a store. You can just do it online. Just like I got this jacket. I got it online. We got Frank. I told you we're going to get one of the Franks here. The guy has done incredible things down here. Frank, how are you? I wore the purple jacket because I wanted to make sure that
Oh, you look fantastic.
I was trying to lure people in, and I think I scared a couple of people because they think I'm running a game show.
Why not? Thank you for doing this, and we really appreciate all you do for the station and for the community. So thank you.
Well, thank you. Like you weren't around to hear it, but like I said, everything that I try to do as a legislator or even as a coach is make it plug and play for the next guy or gal. So,
speaking of Andre, you're talking about Andre. He's actually got an event tonight. He may not be able to attend, but he was nice enough to send an email saying he had a prior commitment. But he's very communicative, and that's great.
Great. You know. So Frank, you were here from the beginning. From the beginning, and
It was a cement slab. I think I've told that story before. It was.
But it's a good story, because I think people need to know that stuff like this doesn't just happen. Anything you see in our community or around anywhere, it doesn't just happen. And Frank was here from the beginning. And for me, you didn't know who I was when you thought about this idea or when you guys got together and wanted to do this. But you knew the type of people you wanted to draw, and you knew what the mission was. And I wanted to thank you for that, because here I have this great venue.
Yeah, and you're great at drawing people in and getting the community involved in a lot of different organizations. Yours, Community Speaks Out, is just a wonderful organization for people. So, I mean, I'm very grateful for you for doing that. And, it's giving back to the community, which is what this is all about. Creating because you can have a nonprofit if nobody knows about it. Well, it's really not serving its purpose if no one's aware of it. And you get more people involved, and, that's how it grows. And it helps more people in the community, so.
And like all things, they have to be nurtured, and they have to be advocated for daily. Even no matter how great you get something, there's always changes, and we talk about the change with cable and how do we move forward from this. And sometimes it's opportunity, because I think as many people stream, maybe that becomes legislative. We work with our legislators, and the future of this place. I know where your heart is and what you want, but plan-wise in your head, what are you thinking for the future?
Well, we're going to be having our 10th anniversary next year, God willing, but as you mentioned, cable is going away. People are migrating to internet. Most people you talk to do not have cable, but they're still getting our services because we're on YouTube, we have Facebook, all the social media. We're on Instagram, Twitter, and so the format has changed. But it's just like I always compare it to like your home phone. Nobody's using a wall phone at home anymore, hardly, right? So the device you're using to get your information has changed, but it's still the same thing where people want to discuss their opinions, and this is a channel where they're not limited to advertising because they have the pressure to make ratings. So this is a channel for the community to say whatever they want to say, into whether it's good or bad, and that's what we're here for. We're happy to help anyone learn how to produce their own show.
And I think with that being said, I think ways you can support, obviously financial is a way that you can always support a great organization like this, but also watching. I mean, I think interestingly enough, once you get on this channel, you start watching some of the stuff, and you start realizing all the good things that happen in the community. It's just a matter of watching it and having your TV on and listening in the background, no matter what you're doing. We do that all the time at home anyway. And sometimes the TV, and this is going to be a great compliment to you. I mean, it was a compliment to me. I really loved it because I was recognized as the host of Born Political just recently at Pfizer. And the gentleman said, it's really the only TV I watch. And he wasn't talking specifically about my show. He's talking about this channel. Because there's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we used to have local channels here, and there's nothing really local anymore. I mean, you probably remember channel. I didn't want to give them too much airtime, but they're not around anymore.
Yeah.
It was out of New London, and so there's nothing local, and it's becoming more and more regional, and then it's becoming national. So the affiliates in the big cities like Hartford, New Haven, they're probably always going to be there. But for an area like this, which is a nice little area, you need something like this. And now we're covering the Waterford area too. We're running the channels over there as well. Yeah. And one of the ways that people can help us is by watching us on YouTube and subscribing to our YouTube channel, because that we can measure. We actually have measurable numbers of viewers, whereas the cable companies don't tell us what the viewership is. But there's some pending legislation which will hopefully address this issue of the outdated law, which talks about a cable subscriber. Well, there's very few cable subscribers anymore. It's mostly people that are elderly who watch TV, that's great, but the majority of people are watching on their phone, on their tablet, their laptop. So you can, in theory, we're worldwide because you can watch us anywhere.
Well, I know for a fact there's one show that gets watched in the Philippines regularly. It's my show. Yeah, because I got family. So it's like saying my aunt watches me. So I'm very proud of that fact. But it's something that's gone across the other side of the world, and they actually learn things about our community because they've looked at other shows now. Because I think it's interesting to have a real half hour. When you watch the news, they come in with a snippet. No matter what the event is or how important it was, it's usually about 30 seconds. On these shows, you're getting about a half hour of what they did and why they got there, and
who someone is. Yeah. And I've noticed you've included everyone from both parties, all sides, and you've had people from all walks of life on, which is really a good thing because it should be about inclusivity and not about saying, well, because you have a D or R over your head, I'm going to have you on, but I'm not going to have. But you've had everyone on, which I think is great. And so that's where we want to keep it. We want to welcome everyone from every party and get as many opinions as possible. That's because there's a variety of people out there who may disagree with us, and it's like, let's get back to having a discussion about it instead of just avoiding that person and not giving them any airtime,
I'm hoping at some point Americans we get punched out, like we're sick of fighting, and that we finally sit down at the table, because I'll say it again, but I said it earlier to somebody else, but I honestly think if we talked about what our commonalities were, we'd run out of things to talk about. We go for the jugular with every conversation on the one thing that may separate you and I politically or morally or whatever it is. If those things, yes, there'll be sticking points between people and groups, but we have to get back to our basics too, and say, hey, if I agree with 90% of what this guy thinks, we're pretty good. Right? We're losing that picture.
It's really a shame because I have people who I'm very close to who have much different opinions than I do about a lot of things. Yeah, we're still very close and we respect each other. We can have a healthy discussion and then agree to disagree, and that's okay. It doesn't mean you're not going to speak to that person ever again, or you're going to be mad at them somehow for disagreeing with you. So that's what adults are supposed to do. That's what we used to do. We have to get back to that.
Sounds like maybe you need to write a book, because I think that's the exact thing that's the exact direction that we have to go. And a venue like this, I think what we need the most is news like this. What we need the most in our community, in our country, is us sharing. Like we had a young man that's riding for the cancer event last week on the show, and I got some people reaching out saying, "Oh, this is great. I'm glad to see Mike's doing this." Those are things that we need to pay attention to, because that's overwhelmingly more of that happens in our community than the bad stuff that we fight about every day.
Where else would you hear about someone like this other than if it was, you might see it in the news, but people are not reading the newspapers like they used to. It's online. You might skip over it. If you do a half-hour show, we're going to televise a lot on our channels. Plus, it's on YouTube. We link it to Facebook, so there's all kinds of opportunities to get the word out about a really worthwhile organization, like the one you just mentioned, and so many others we've worked with. And we want to keep drawing them in and getting them involved, because that's our purpose for existing. That's our mission, is to bring the community together and encourage use of this facility.
Well, you are doing that. And you've been doing that for how many years now? This is almost.
We opened in 2014, so this is our 9th year. I know it's hard to believe, and we will be on year number 10 next year, so we're going to have a really big party, bigger than the one we have tonight, hopefully. And so we're excited about that. We're just going to keep going and doing what we do. And
Well, I see a good future here. I really do, and I know those hills. When you're the type of person that looks at a hill as a challenge and not as an obstacle, and that's what we look at everything. And I think me and you have the same opinion on that. And I think there's going to be some help with legislation, but that's always going to be the fact. But it's really making sure that we get the word out about what's happening here already.
Yeah, I mean, we have 8 counties in Connecticut. This is the nicest part of the state, in my opinion. I think I'm biased, and and since COVID, more and more people are discovering it, and it's getting more populated, which is okay. But we still want to kind of balance that with the quality of life we have here, which is nice because we're not overdeveloped, and hopefully. And this is my opinion only, but we will not get too overdeveloped like some of the other counties where it's just constant traffic, and you want to manage it in a way that it's helping the economy, yet at the same time it's not diminishing our quality of life.
And I think we got to see the fact that we get to look around other parts of the states and see what overpopulation looks like. In Groton, in particular, there is a lot of open space that's not going to be built on. We have a lot of space that will be, and we're going to be able to share this gem, which what we have, with just amount of. And I've had people say, "Well, what do you think about don't you wish we had San Diego weather here?" And I don't, because I think the winters keep us hardy, but they also, I think, keep folks that are afraid. Because I think we'd have 1 million people in this county if we had San Diego weather every single day.
San Diego, LA, any of these places. Florida's crazy too. I mean, there's people, and that's great that people want to move there. But I don't want to be in a traffic jam every day when I'm on my way to work to drive 15 minutes to work, and that's how it is down there, and it's out there. So. Good for them, but I think that we like it here the way it is now, and so we got to find a balance. Is the ideal,
Exactly. And we're going to keep finding that balance. We're going to keep working together. Thank you.
I wonder where you got that jacket. A few sizes larger than yours.
I got it on the internet.
Very nice.
And yeah, which again, I said we talk about how bad the internet's been for our country and a lot of, but we forget how good it is because I found this jacket on the internet. But actually, it's funny. A lot of good things do happen on the internet. And I think if you add it, because even all the fundraising you see when someone's hurt or injured or sick, and people chip in, we discount that and we forget that, and then we see the car accident or we see the awful thing, and I think it's human nature that the crazy stuff's going to pop out to our eyes and make us watch. But I just ask that people really pay attention to stuff like this.
Right. And you mentioned the internet. We have a brand new website now, which is completely overhauled. We're including the Waterford studio as well. Actually, there's 2 channels for each studio, so you see each channel has links on there to the channels, and there's all kinds of information about what's going on. We're going to upload some photos from this event, and so we're definitely getting with the times as far as our social media presence and the internet. So check us out.
All right, and guys, next year, this show is concluded for this year. We still be here for a little while longer. There's food if you're in the area, but we'll see you next year. That will be the 10th year anniversary. I expect everyone to be out here. Thanks for everything you've done. Thanks for having me and allowing me to be here. It's great. All right, guys, we'll see you next week on Born Political. Again, I have Center for the Blind, and we'll see you then.